Hello everybody. We're going to keep working on Pong today and hopefully blast through some of the UI. And I did get some issues that I ran into at the end of the last session fixed. I did a fresh install of Rider and everything seems to be launching. There were a couple of things. First of all, I had mistakenly put a const in front of this server name and forgot that this is an out parameter right here. So that was not happy because it fills in the server name from this get. So get rid of that const. What else did I... Oh, and then I just... we jumped ahead a little bit. I commented out functions that we do not have the classes created yet. So we'll just uncomment those once we need them. So let's go ahead and keep going and see if we can knock out a bunch of the UI real fast. So what we want is to make a main menu first. We want to make a new level, empty, save it in levels, and we'll call this main menu. This in project settings is what the game default will open up to. Our game instance class, by the way, while we're here. I like to, once I've made the C++ class, go ahead and make a blueprint off of it. So our Pong game instance, so there's our BP Pong game instance. Because we're going to be able to set some things over there. So this in project settings under maps and modes is now BP Pong game instance. Okay, our main menu. We need some UI. Make a new folder called UI. In this folder, make a widget blueprint, WBP Pong main menu. There's that guy. We're going to be basing it on C++, however. So what we need to do is we need a new C++ class off of user widget, and this is going to be our parent menu class. So this is our Pong menu widget. We'll put this in public/UI. Create. And this will have the setup and teardown functions that our other menus will inherit from, so that they can set their menu, the interface class, which our game instance will implement. There we go. Not you. You. There. Yeah, so we made this interface, which has our interface, our functions, which our game instance implements, but our menus need to know how to get there. So that's what we will be putting together here. So this is the Pong clone parent widget class for menu widgets. And we need to have a void setup, a void teardown. We will have, actually, we're just going forward, declare the Pong menu interface, not include it. We're going to have a referent get menu interface const return the menu interface, which we haven't made yet, which is under protected. We will have an iPong menu interface pointer called menu interface. And we want to be able to set it to. So set menu interface, which takes in an iPong menu interface pointer in menu interface. So that is our parent widget. That's it. So now we need to make things that inherit off of that. So we need to make a new C++ class off of our Pong menu widget called Pong main menu, public UI. There we go, and it inherits off of this guy, so this is our Pong clone main menu. Real quick before we move on, we do need to set up the implementation for these things. So setup. We're adding ourselves to viewport. We are getting the world. Sure, there aren't some includes we may need. Make sure we got the world. Return. If we didn't, we need a player controller, which is world. That's why we got the world. Get the first player controller. Make sure it's valid. If not, return. Now we set our owning player to that player controller. Grab and copy this comment. We're setting input, focus, and mouse cursor stuff, so we're going to make an F input mode game and UI. This is our input mode data. And our input mode data, we want to set the widget to focus, will be this, and we want to take widget so that we get the actual widget out of this class. Input mode data, we want to set lock mouse to viewport behavior. E, mouse lock mode, do not lock. Player controller, set our input mode to with that input mode data, pass that in. So that'll set that up. Something else I like to do when is centering the mouse cursor might be dumb at this point. Might rethink that. Why didn't that work? Come on. There. Just trying to rename. Okay. This just centers the mouse location on the screen, but we might take that out. That does that for every single time that you run setup on anything that inherits, but that's okay for now. Alright, so tear down. That's it for the setup. We want to remove from viewport. Get the world again. Oh, right. Also, since we're not doing that, and then const goes on the left, just to keep with Unreal syntax standards. Alright, now, again, I'm going to ensure our world. If not, then return. This is another one. A player controller pointer. A player controller pointer. There we go. Player controller is equal to world get first player controller. If ensure player controller return. And we're putting our F input mode to game and UI. The const over here. And we're just passing that in. We're not doing anything else with it. We could just go with game, honestly, but it's alright. I'm taking this from something else. So as I develop games and prototypes, my inputs change constantly as I figure out, excuse me, what I do or do not need. But game and UI works just fine for Pong. Okay, so those are our parent functions now implemented. We can close that, we don't need it anymore. Our main menu, I think before we do anything in here, let's do the design steps first. So we're just gonna copy real quick. It's gonna be extremely basic. We're going to just have some text up here, which is anchored to the top. 0.5, and I don't know. Nope. Put it back to 0. Lower you down. Font. We're gonna blow it up. Size to content. Pong. I don't know why the exclamation mark, but I like it. Let's go with light for some style. That's it. Okay, I want to we're gonna make a basic menu system here. So menu switcher, that's not what I want. I want a widget switcher. Widget switcher is centered, size to content. 0.5 and a 0.5. Boom. And we're gonna name it menu switcher. In the menu switcher, we're gonna have 3 buttons. So I'm gonna go with a horizontal box. There's some differences here. This horizontal box, name it main menu. That's gonna matter later. When we bind in the C++. We want some buttons. We want 3 buttons in there. Duplicate by hitting Control W. Each of these buttons, we're going to put text inside. 1, 2, and 3. I am going to drop all of the background colors alphas to 0 so we don't have to worry about buttons at all right now. And it looks kind of minimalism when you do it this way. So this is, we call this the host button. We'll just say the word host. This is our join button. And of course, I'm putting this in the wrong place. This is host button text. The name of the text box doesn't matter. What matters is the button itself. So this is the host button, and this button is the join button. This text block needs to say join, and this is the quit button. Text block says quit, and because I named the others, we'll say quit button text. We're going to put some padding around all of these guys. How about 15, about 25, 25, and 25. And we'll bump the text up to 36. 36. 36. All right, that's our main menu right there. Host, join, and quit. So this menu switcher, when we hit host, or actually when we hit join, we want it to switch to a new menu to show us of finding a LAN game. So we're gonna put in a vertical box into the menu switcher. This is this vertical box called join menu. We're going to put in a text box first. This text box says find a LAN game. There's a little title. We're going to put a size box into the menu. Just copying things, so reading. Height override. It's basically, this is a spacer essentially. That's all that's happening there. So this text block of find a LAN game, bump that up to 36. Yeah. We want another size box. This one actually matters. This size box is where we will list our LAN games, so 700 by 250. Go ahead and center that text there. Okay, so yeah, all our servers that we find for LAN games will appear in there, so you want to put a little scroll box in there. Into the size box. This scroll box, call it the server list. Put another size box below it, which is just acting as a spacer. We could just do a spacer, but whatever. Last, we want to do a bottom bar, which is going to be a horizontal box. And in this horizontal box, we have 3 buttons again. First button is the cancel join menu button. The second button is refresh list join menu button. And the third one is confirm join menu button. And we put text on all 3 of those again. This text says back. Middle one says search. Third one says confirm. And how did I space these? Switch this horizontal box to fill. Padding put to 10. And then the buttons, each of these buttons, if you switch it to fill, fill, and fill, that looks better. And then also drop their alphas down to 0. All right, there you go. So that's going to be our little LAN game server menu. And that is it. So go over to the graph, hit class settings. We're going to inherit from Pong main menu. Save. All right. And because my brain doesn't like this, I'm going to call this the back text, search text, confirm text. Not necessary, but it's neater. Go ahead and close. Save selected, close the editor. We now need to do some code to make all of that bound and work. Okay. In the main menu, we have some public stuff. We need a void set active widget, which will take in a const int by reference index. We want a void set server list, which will receive a t array of fpong server data, server names, and a void select server row index, which will receive a const uint32 index. And that's how we'll be able to click on server bars in the server list when we find them. We want to have an explicit constructor, f object initializer reference const object initializer, and a virtual bool initialize override. Under private, we'll have a void update server row children, which will be called when we want to update all the servers that we found. And these are our callback functions, which will be bound to the buttons. So we have a void host server function. We have a join server function. We have a quit pressed. We have an open main menu. We have an open join menu. We have a refresh server list. Okay. So those are all our functions, and now we need to actually bind widgets. So what we have to do, so I don't have to type this every time. Whoops. Why did I put the cursor up there again? All right. These are our main menu widgets. We have this header, uProperty, visible anywhere, blueprint read only, meta, bind widget. And the allow private access just allows us to do it in the private section. So we need a uWidget switcher pointer. This is our menu switcher. Remember how we named it that? And we want to do a class uMenu switcher. uWidget switcher. So it's going to be looking in the UMG editor for that name. Again, same header, this time just a uWidget, the main menu, which is that horizontal, the horizontal box that we made. They inherit from uWidget. uWidget, the join menu, which is the vertical box that we made, and then a uPanel widget pointer, the server list, which is, that is what the scroll box is. Next, we need the main menu buttons. So we're going to want to put a class uButton up here. Same heading, macro thing. A uButton called the host button. A uButton called the join button. A uButton called quit button. And that is it for the main menu. Now we need the join menu buttons. This is the uButton cancel join menu button. A uButton, whoops, refresh list join menu button. A uButton confirm join menu button. Hello, Denny X. Yes, I am trying to get some of it done real fast. Class references. This is important because we will need this for our server list. We're gonna set what the class is so that it can create it. So this is gonna be in there, and then we need some unexposed variables because these are not supported in Blueprint. So we have a T optional of a uint32 selected server row index, and a T optional uint32 selected load game. We're not loading games, so we don't need that. Okay, so you've got all that. That pretty much sets that up, so now we just need to implement these functions. This, we don't actually even need that constructor. Go ahead and get rid of it. Not using it. We're gonna make initialize first. Then set active. I'm gonna move initialize above because I prefer that to be the first. And I think that's it. Okay. Initialize goes up on top. First of all, you want to do that to run the super and return true. That's your basic initialize right there, and everything else goes in the middle. So what we want is to initialize main menu widgets and bind callbacks. So first, we ensure that we have a host button bound. If not, return false. And then host button on clicked, add dynamic, this Pong main menu, host server. And so that I don't have to type it all, basically the same thing. The join button is going to be bound to open join menu, and quit button is quit pressed. Do the same thing for all your join menu widgets. Bind them to open main menu. When we hit the cancel join menu, it just goes back to the main menu. If we hit refresh the list, we want to refresh the server list. And if we hit confirm, we want to join a server. And then once we've initialized the menu switcher, got something in my nose, allergies. We always want to make sure that we're on the main menu, not the join menu, every time that the main menu opens. Okay. Set active widget. This just does menu switcher, set active widget index to the index. Setting the server list. I think we can flush this out even though we don't have the server row made yet. We wanted to get a const uWorld pointer called world, get world. We've done this a few times now, so it shouldn't be strange. Ensure that we have the world, otherwise return. Server list, clear the children. Make a uint32 call I, set it to 0. I'm gonna alright, yeah, I'll use old assignment initialization there. We're gonna set up some server data by reference, or it's a for loop, actually. It is a range-based for loop. So we're gonna cycle through our parameter, our array, and for each Pong server data pointer, oh, server row. This is what we haven't made yet. For each server row in there, yeah, I'm seeing a red. I'm seeing a red on my end. My connection might be... I have a great connection, so I don't know what's... OBS is not happy. It says it's red. Getting a lot of dropped frames as well. So... you'll be able to watch this it's recording at least, and it will be up on YouTube once I'm done, and I will try and figure out why. I'm on wireless in a basement, and I'm going to a router, but it's Wi-Fi 6, so I don't know why my speeds seem so low today. I have a red connection. Unfortunate. I'm gonna do a little bit more, but it's just gonna be a short day anyway. So the server row is going to be create widget of Pong server row, pass in the world, and the server row widget class, which we set up. I'm gonna comment that out since we don't have it made yet. Oh good, it's good. There's still a red dot on OBS, so I don't know if it's fully good, but I wiggled my antenna a little bit. So we're making sure that we have that server row, otherwise return. Go ahead and comment that out as well. The server row, we're going to set the server data with the server data. Comment again. Server row, run the setup on it, pass in the parent, us, and that I index. And then we're going to ++ I. And then server list, add child, server row. Comment. So that's how we're going to, basically we're going to create a bunch of widgets, set their indices, and then fill up that scroll box. Select server row index. The selected server row index is going to be equal to index, and we're going to run update server row children afterwards. Update server row children for int 32 I. Actually, this could be a size T, which would be better for this. As long as I is less than the server list get children count ++ I. So we're running through, starting from index 0 through the whole server list. Auto row. Let's not do that. Use Pong server row pointer. Row is equal to cast Pong server row. Server list get child at the index. Comment it out because we don't have the server row yet. If row set row is selected. These are again functions we don't have yet. Selected index is set. This is what a T optional allows you to check. Is that T optional, is it set to something? This will return a boolean if the T optional is set. So if this T optional is not set, that returns false and will short circuit, right? Is that the word short? It'll short this if statement basically. Set row is selected. And the row index, selected server row index dot, and then you get the value of a T optional like that. And comment it out until we're ready to use it. Okay, host server is pretty simple. If our menu interface is set, we tell the menu interface to host, and we're just making a default server name called Pong. And we need to include the definition up top for what a menu interface is. Joining a server, if the selected server row.index is set, and we have a menu interface, if a const upong server row pointer is equal to cast upong server row server list get child at selected server row index dot get value. I did it again. I click here. Comment that out. So we don't have a server row yet. We want to do a menu switcher, set the active widget back to the main menu, and then menu interface. We want to join the selected server row index.getValue and server row get server data, and comment that out. Else, let's create a new log category real fast over here. Declare log category extern log Unreal Pong UI log all. And then over here at the top, to define log category log Unreal Pong UI. So, where were we? For join server, we're going to do a log out right here for the log Unreal Pong UI log text selected index. So we know what we chose. Otherwise, if it's not value, we want to put out a warning. Selected index not set. Quitting's easy. Again, we want a const uWorld pointer. Gotta name it. Ensure we got it. Then we want a player controller pointer. And ensure that as well. And we want to run a console command. Quit. That's how you quit. Opening the main menu. We'll make sure we have a menu switcher bound. And we want to make sure that we have a join menu bound. And if so, we want to set the active widget to the join menu and refresh the server list. Sorry, this is actually for the join menu. For the main menu, I was looking at the wrong one. Same thing, menu switcher, and same thing, but main menu. And same thing, main menu. Alright, refresh server list if we have a menu interface, not the switcher, interface, thank you. Server list. Clear the children, and then menu interface has the refresh server list function, which we made. Whew. All right, there's all that. Let's make the ensure is like a check. It will. There's a bunch of. Let me actually find you the page real fast. UE4 ensure. It's an assert. Here you go. These are important. An ensure notifies the crash reporter the first time that the expression is false. So this it'll get triggered once. It's a non-fatal error. So also, ensure message is nice, so you can output a text so you know what the ensure, that it was hit. Ensure always is the same, but it will always do it, not just the first time. So it basically will alert you very, very vocally that something went wrong, that you don't want it to go wrong. Okay, we want to server row. We want to make a server row, so WBP, so widget blueprint WBP Pong server row is the next thing that we're going to make. Let's design it first, and then we'll make the C++ category. This is very, very simple. Get rid of the canvas menu. We're going to go to a desired on screen here. We want a scale box, which is set to just default scale fit. Yep. And then we want to have a button. This is the row button. Just call it that. And get rid of the alpha entirely again. Put a horizontal box in the button, and in the horizontal box we want to have 3 texts. The first text is called server name, and put server name. Second text is our host user, and connection fraction. This is where ideally it should show the number of players current out of total. It hasn't worked, so I think we fixed it because my math was wrong, but we'll see. And what do we want? 25 and 25 with those 2 spacers, I think. Nah, let's bump it up. 50 and 50. Yeah. There we go. All right, and go ahead and close it. Make a new class. Let me just double check if this server row. It's just a user widget. It is not off. It's not a menu. So just a new user widget. Call this Pong server row. Put it in public and UI. $345. All right, let's see if we can get this blown out real fast, so we can actually just get to some other stuff. All right, so now we can actually fix this. So we can go include UI Pong server row, and now this stuff won't fully work yet, but we will add the functions that these are wanting here in a second. But now server row exists. Oh, right. You gotta name it, actually. Okay, so back at the server row. This is our Pong clone server row widget. And we want a public section where we put a void setup. We pass in a Pong main menu pointer. We're just going to forward declare that though. This is the in parent, and then we want a const uint32 in index. Next, an f Pong server data. Hello, psycho log. This is going to get server data. This is a const, and it will return server data. Let's go ahead and make these variables real quick. Down below, under the private section. Whoops. I'm going to copy and paste this header. We have a uText block. We just made these called server name. Forward declare uText block. A uText block pointer of host user. A uText block pointer of connection fraction. We have a uButton, class uButton, of row button. We have a uPong main menu pointer, which is different. This is not a bound thing. Yep, it's pretty much, I want to say 95% C++ with a couple of just blueprint defaults where you have to select classes so that for the widgets, but we have a boolean if we're selected false initialized, and then we have a Pong server data called server data, which the server row stores, and of course our index. All right, so there's our variables. Back up to our functions that we need. So we've got our get server data. We have a uText block pointer of get server name const return the server name. We have uText block pointer of get host. This is just your basic getters because I don't like to make variables public. Whoops. And a uText block pointer of get connection fraction const return connection fraction. And bool get is selected, const return b is selected. Next, we have some functions that actually do something. Takes in this and left const. I hate left const, but I will do it. Void set row is selected, const bool b in selected. Okay. Implement. Come on. Implement. Oops. Just these guys. All right. Setup parent equals in parent. Index equals in index. If ensure the row button is bound, return if it isn't. Otherwise, row button on clicked, add dynamic. This uPong server row on row clicked. Did I forget to make that? I did. That's under protected. I don't think it needs to, but if something inherits from, I guess nothing is inheriting from this, so I mean, theoretically it could be in private, but then I think you have to do the allow private access. I don't know, it doesn't matter. This is for casuals. Casuals, fun. If something really needs it, and you can refactor this for shipping. All right, server data in server data. The server name is set text to f text from string server. Whoops, from string server data dot name the host, and I think we need to include the text block components. Host user. What'd you say? Private protected, yeah. Once everything is working, can go back and clean things up, but... it's grabbed the cursor again. Host user set text to f text from string server data.host username. The connection fraction, set the text. This is f text from string and f string. Did it again. From string. Print f. We're gonna format this as that percent digit over a percent digit. And that comes from server data dot current players, comma 2. We are hard-coded 2 because it's just Pong. You change this up, you can make it not hard-coded, but that's how it is. All right, our B is selected is just our B in selected. And on row clicked, we get the parent, which is our main menu, and we run select server selected, select server row index, and pass in our index. Looks good to me. I like to keep my custom headers and engine headers separate like that. That's the server row. And if we go back over to our main menu, oh, right. There. Now it's happy. No squigglies. Go ahead and hit stop. Run it all back up again. Oh my. What did I do wrong? Let me just look at the other project because this didn't happen. What? What's going on here? Pong server row pointer. Server row is equal to create widget. A Pong server row. Pass in world. Server row widget class. Why is it wrong? Oh. Wait. No, hold on. Am I missing a header? I'm just gonna... I don't know what's going on, but I'm just trying to make the code match my other project where it builds just fine. So I'm wondering if it's a circular header issue. Nope. What? Okay, the only other thing I can think of that I did differently that I see here is have an explicit constructor which doesn't do anything. Okay. Just gonna rewrite the line. Create widget. This, yeah, it's a template. A template of Pong server row. Oh, wait, no. Exactly what I had. Auto row. Yeah. There is no difference in the code here. Alright, just make sure I didn't miss something over in Pong's server row. The user widget. Check the includes are the same. T subclass of user widget server row widget class. Yeah. That's the same too. Wait. That wasn't there. Oh, yeah. No, that's the same. Struct, okay. Okay, it's none of the 5 overloads could convert all the argument types. Why is this a problem? In this project, but this isn't a problem in the other one. I'm confused. Very confused. All right, Google. User widget, create widget instance, none of the 5 overloads. Let's see what pops up. Somebody suggests running, hold on. Well, that's weird. Okay. That's bizarre. And two, like... That's very strange. I have the world. Yeah, the only difference is I had auto right here. That's strange. I wonder if it... Does it modify it, maybe? No, it returns a const. I don't know. Alright, well, it compiled. Whatever. Okay, Pong server row. Go ahead and open up, go to the graph, class settings. Set it to our Pong server row, compile. We have no errors, meaning that it bound all these things happily. Go ahead and close it. Pong main menu. We are Pong main menu, and in class defaults, we need to make sure that our server row widget class is set to Pong server row. Make sure you have that set. That should be it for those two things. Well, it's not about trust. I mean, like, it shows you what it is. So here's my old code, and if I hover over auto, it's a world pointer. It's setting it up as a const uworld. It should be a pointer. That's what this returns. So I don't know what the difference is and why it worked, but it did. But unfortunately, this means that we're relying on this as returning something. So I don't know. I don't know why in one case... I mean, we could test it by swapping that out for auto and find out. The only thing I could think of is... that, where it's a const pointer instead of a const. The constness is pointing to the pointer, you know? Why don't we try that? Maybe that's what's happening with the auto. I'm just curious. There you go. So, yes, what was happening is if this were auto, because I do const rightness, this becomes uWorld pointer, and so this constness is pointing to the pointer. But if this const is on the left side, like Unreal Engine likes, because they're all left constness, the constness is pointing to uWorld. So that's the same as if I did that. So this const is pointing to uWorld, and then the pointer is not const. So that was the problem there. So what it wants is a uWorld pointer and a constness, a constness there. There you go. That's what the problem was. So, and that again is the issue with why I like const rightness, because it's always pointing leftwards, and you don't have that kind of situation where you just know, all right, const is pointing to the pointer. Const is pointing to the object type, in this case, the world object type, right? That can't change. No, in this situation, we just want the pointer to never change. The pointer itself can't change. It can't, right? Am I thinking of that the right way? That the pointer cannot shift to a new address? This pointer will always just point in its existence to this address? I think that's what that means. Somebody yell at me if I'm wrong. Okay, so our Pong clone, we've got the main menu, we've got the server. What can we do real fast? We can let me see real fast. I don't think there's something we can do quickly, so we might. I think we finished the 2 UI that was necessary. There is a game HUD and a in-game menu, but we don't need those at the moment. I believe. Trying to check how I load up the main menu if this map. I usually avoid level blueprints, but in this case, just for simplicity, that's what I did. So what we're gonna do real fast is go to the main menu level, open the level blueprint, begin play, we get the game instance, we cast it to Pong game instance, and we load main. Whoops, that's right. Close. Go to our game instance. We can now do this guy. And we can get that guy. And we can bring up that function. All right. Then back over here, we want to have load main menu widget. This, we can now include that header as required, our UI Pong main menu. We can uncomment that and uncomment that. We can finish up our create. instance. What is it? We're load main menu widget function. Oh yeah. All we're doing is menu is equal to create widget upong main menu. Owning object is this main menu class. We'll return and uncomment those once we have them. Under on create session complete, we can flesh that out now, which is just a standard if ensure menu, otherwise return, and then menu tear down. Anything else? Oh yeah, menu set server list now works, and that should be it. All right, so go ahead and build it again. It's good I ran into that auto thing, because I'd always wondered where the const, how that works, if which side the pointer, but it literally just fills auto with the words, so that makes sense. That const ends up on the right side of the pointer. Now I know. Okay, back in main menu, open up that level blueprint again. Now we have access to load our main menu widget. So every time this level starts, that main menu widget should pop up. We have a problem because I forgot to set the classes. This is the one downside of doing a lot of this in C++. You need to make sure you set your class references. And that's what this ensure did. It checked, did we have a main menu class? No, it didn't, so it blew the return and dropped down there. I probably could have just hit continue on the debugger. Right, so there's our main menu. We need to make sure it's set to the main menu class so that it knows what to create, and there it is. Ta-da! If we hit host, we are now in the game level. We traveled. We're here. If I eject and I look around, there's our placeholder stuff. So it worked. Our C++ menu is working. If I hit play and I hit quit, we quit. If I do this and I hit join, we go to our join game. And I believe it is searching for a LAN game at the moment, but we have no visual thing to tell us anything, right? Where's my developer tool? Output log. There's our warning, selected index not set, because our T optional has never been set. This, maybe it's a trick of my eyes, maybe it's because confirm is longer than back, but this looks off. No, it's fine. Search, starting find search session. You can't see that because my face is in the way. Webcam group. Woo! Let me just move my face for a second. You can see it printed out starting find session and finished find sessions. So those delegates were called via the search. And as I was saying, confirm selected index not set. So, and then back goes back here. So there you go. Move my face back. Lock it. That's today's episode, is getting our user interfaces set up for Pong. And we can move on to some actual game logic next time. So this whole episode will be up on YouTube soon. Sorry about the internet speed issues there for a second. I'm unfortunately not on a wired Ethernet LAN connection anymore. I am on a Wi-Fi, but it is Wi-Fi 6 AX speed, so it should be able to maintain it, but a basement, you never know. Until next time, I'll see you later. Have a great afternoon. Go play disc golf or something.